The worst thing about being invisible isn't the silence. It's pretending the silence doesn't cut. I sat on my couch in my Lincoln Park apartment, staring at my phone. My mom's text glowed on the screen, each word sinking deeper into my chest. Emily, sweetie, there seems to have been a mix-up with Michael's wedding invitations. Yours must have gotten lost in the mail. Lost in the mail. Right. I'm Emily Harper, 29 years old, the daughter nobody remembers, the sister who fades into the background. You'd think I'd be used to it by now. But this? This was my brother's wedding. I read the message again, my thumb hovering over the reply button. What do you even say to that? No worries, Mom. I'm used to being forgotten. I tossed the phone onto the cushion, my laugh bitter, echoing in the quiet room. The Chicago skyline twinkled outside my window, indifferent. My family had been sidelining me for years, missed graduations, ignored housewarmings, awkward silences at holiday dinners. But a wedding? That's a new low, even for them. The phone buzzed again, snapping me out of my thoughts. Lauren Carter's name flashed on the screen. My best friend, my anchor. I picked up, trying to sound casual. Hey, Lauren. Have you heard from them yet? Her voice was sharp, like she already knew the answer. Oh, you know the usual. I forced a chuckle, but it came out hollow. My invitation to Michael's big day got lost in the mail. 6 weeks to go, and I'm just now hearing about it. Are you serious? Lauren's tone could have cut glass. That's their excuse? Lost in the mail. I stood up, pacing the hardwood floor. Yep. Mom called earlier, too. Want to hear the kicker? She said, and I quote, Victoria's been so stressed about the guest list. Maybe it's better this way, honey. You know how particular she is about perfection. Perfection? Lauren scoffed. Perfection for who? Their golden boy Michael and his high society princess. I opened my mouth to respond, but the doorbell chimed, sharp and sudden. I froze, my heart skipping. Peeking through the peephole, I saw Michael standing there, his tailored suit pristine, his expression impatient. Hold on, I whispered to Lauren. Speak of the devil himself. I opened the door, phone still pressed to my ear. Michael didn't wait for an invitation. He strode in, his cologne trailing a subtle, expensive scent that screamed privilege. I'll call you back, I told Lauren, hanging up before she could protest. Mom said you're upset, Michael announced, his eyes scanning my apartment with that familiar, disapproving smirk. Like my cozy space, with its mismatched furniture and art prints, was beneath him. Upset? I crossed my arms, leaning against the counter. Why would I be upset that my only brother didn't invite me to his wedding? He sighed, adjusting his already perfect tie. Don't be so dramatic, Emily. Of course you're invited. It's just maybe the invitation got lost. It happens. Lost. Sure. My voice was flat. Funny how that keeps happening. Like my college graduation. Or my housewarming party 2 years ago. That's not the same. He waved a hand, dismissive, checking his watch like I was wasting his precious time. How's it different, Michael? I stepped closer, my voice low, trembling. Tell me, what's different? He met my eyes for a split second, then looked away. Look, Victoria has a vision for this wedding. It's the event of the season at the Regency Hotel. We can't afford any complications. Complications? The word stung, sharp and deliberate. You mean me? He didn't deny it. Just straightened his jacket, his silence louder than any words. You know what I mean. Remember Aunt Clara's anniversary party? You brought that woman. Nicole. My girlfriend. My cheeks burned, but I held his gaze. Whatever. He shrugged, like her name didn't matter. You made a scene. Mom was humiliated. A scene. My voice cracked. I brought someone I cared about to a family event. That's it. The Langstons are traditional, Emily. Appearances matter. Each word was a jab, crafted to remind me I didn't fit their polished world. Get out, I whispered, my hands shaking. Don't be childish. He smirked, but his eyes were cold. Mom asked me to smooth things over. I tried. Get out. My voice was louder now, steady. He paused at the door, one hand on the knob. Don't make this a big deal, Emily. This is Victoria's Day. The door clicked shut, and I stood there, my breath uneven, anger and hurt swirling in my chest. My phone buzzed, another text from Mom. Michael says you're being difficult. Please don't ruin your brother's moment. It's so important to the family. Important to the family. The family that treated me like an afterthought, a smudge on their perfect picture. I stared at the words, my resolve hardening. They thought they could erase me. They were wrong. The door clicked shut behind Michael, but his words lingered, sharp as knives. Complications. That's what he called me. I stood frozen in my Lincoln Park apartment, my hands still trembling. The Chicago wind rattled the windows, a low howl that matched the storm inside me. I'd spent years swallowing my family's dismissals, pasting on smiles to keep the peace. But this being erased from my brother's wedding? It was too much. I grabbed my phone and dialed Lauren. She picked up on the first ring. Emily, what happened? Was that really Michael? Yeah. My voice was tight, barely holding together. He just left. Said the same thing as Mom. My invitation got lost. Then he had the nerve to say I'm a complication because of Nicole. That jerk. Lauren's voice crackled with anger. A complication? Because you dared to love someone? What is this, the 1950s? I sank onto the couch, rubbing my temples. He brought up Aunt Clara's anniversary party. Said I embarrassed Mom by bringing Nicole. Like I'm the problem for existing. Embarrassed? Lauren snorted. Your mom was embarrassed because she cares more about the Langston's country club crowd than her own daughter. And Michael's just as bad, playing along with Victoria's perfect little pageant. I managed a weak laugh. Pageant's right. He kept going on about how this wedding's the event of the season at the Regency Hotel. Like I'm some loose thread that'll ruin their tapestry. Ugh, I can just see him. Lauren's voice softened, but there was fire in it. Strutting in, all smug in his fancy suit, acting like you owe him for existing. What did you say? I told him to get out. My voice steadied, the memory of my own words grounding me. Twice. He didn't even flinch. Just said Mom wanted him to smooth things over. As if he ever could. Good for you. Lauren paused, and I could almost hear her thinking. Emily, you know you don't have to keep taking this, right? You're not the invisible sister they want you to be. Her words hit hard, stirring something deep. I stood up, pacing again, my eyes catching the framed photo on the shelf and Nicole, laughing at Lake Michigan last summer. Back when I thought my family might come around. You're right, I said, my voice stronger now. I'm done letting them walk all over me. They think they can just forget me? Fine. But they're about to find out I'm more than a complication. Whoa! Lauren's tone shifted, excited. I like this, Emily. What's the plan? I stopped pacing, a spark igniting in my mind. I don't know yet. But Michael and Victoria want a perfect wedding? Maybe I'll give them something to remember instead. That's my girl. Lauren laughed, but then her voice turned serious. Whatever you're thinking, I'm in. You don't have to do this alone. Thanks, Lauren. I smiled, the weight in my chest lifting just a little. I'll call you tomorrow. I need to sleep on this, figure out what's next. Sleep? With that fire in you? Good luck. She chuckled. But seriously, call me anytime. We'll make them regret this. I hung up, the apartment quiet again except for the hum of the city outside. My phone buzzed, a new text from Mom. Emily, please don't make this harder than it needs to be. Michael's under so much pressure with the wedding. Pressure. Right. Poor Michael, juggling his $250,000 wedding while I'm left scraping for scraps of their attention. I set the phone down, not replying. Instead, I walked to the window, staring out at the Chicago lights. Michael's words echoed, appearances matter. But whose appearances? Theirs, not mine. For once, I wasn't going to fade into the background. I didn't know how yet, but I'd make sure they saw me. Not as a complication, but but as someone they couldn't ignore. The morning after Michael's visit, I woke with a fire in my chest. No more playing the forgotten sister. I stood in my Lincoln Park apartment, coffee in hand, staring at the Chicago skyline. The city hummed with possibility, and for the first time in years, I felt it too. My family thought they could erase me from their perfect picture. They were about to learn I could paint my own. I called Lauren, my voice steady despite the early hour. I'm done, Lauren. Done letting them push me aside. Michael's wedding? I'm not just showing up. I'm making sure they can't ignore me. Whoa, Emily. Lauren's laugh was half surprise, half delight. I love this energy. So, what's the move? Crash the wedding with a megaphone. I smirked, pacing the hardwood floor. Tempting, but no. I want something bigger. Something that hits them where it hurts their precious image. They're obsessed with this wedding being the event of the season. What if I steal their spotlight? Steal it how? Lauren's voice lit up, like she was already on board. I'm not sure yet. I paused, glancing at my laptop on the counter. But I've got $150,000 saved up. Originally for a house, but plans change. What if I use it to throw a better event? Same day, same city. Something they can't compete with. Emily Harper, you're a genius. Lauren's excitement crackled through the phone. But you'll need connections to pull that off. Vendors, venues, the works. Lucky for you, I know someone who might help. Who? I set my coffee down, leaning forward. Samantha Reed. My old college roommate. She's an event coordinator for Chicago's high society. Works with all the big names, including guess who, the team handling Michael and Victoria's wedding at the Regency Hotel. My heart skipped. You're kidding. Can she get us details? Like, who's doing the flowers, the catering, the music? Oh, she can do better than that. Lauren's voice turned sly. Samantha's got access to every contract. And let's just say she's not Victoria's biggest fan. I'll set up a meeting. You free tomorrow? Free as ever. I grinned, a plan forming like a spark catching fire. Let's do this. The next day, I sat at my kitchen counter, sipping wine with Lauren. She slid a glass toward me, her eyes gleaming. You're gonna need this. I just talked to my cousin who works at the Regency. Victoria specifically asked about you when booking the venue. Wanted to make sure your name wasn't on any guest lists from past Harper family events. The wine soured in my mouth. So it wasn't lost in the mail. Not even close. Nope. Lauren leaned forward, her phone in hand. This wedding's costing them $250,000. Michael and Victoria booked every luxury service the hotel offers: florist, string quartet, 5-tier cake. My cousin says your dad's footing most of the bill. I whistled low. Richard must be thrilled about that. Here's the best part. Lauren's smile was wicked. All the vendors report to one person, Samantha, and she owes me a favor or two from our sorority days. I set my glass down, my mind racing. If we get Samantha on board, we could outbid the vendors. Offer them a better deal to work my event instead. A charity gala, maybe? Something that makes their wedding look shallow by comparison. Charity gala? Lauren raised an eyebrow. That's bold. What cause? I thought for a moment, then smiled. Hope Haven Pediatric Center. They're fundraising for a new treatment wing. Imagine the headlines: local woman outshines brother's lavish wedding with record-breaking donation. Evil. I love it. Lauren clinked her glass against mine. Tomorrow, we meet Samantha at Lakeview Cafe. Bring your bank balance and your best game face. As Lauren left, my phone buzzed. Another text from Mom. Emily, Victoria's mom, called. She's worried you might cause trouble. Please don't embarrass us. I stared at the words, my resolve hardening. Embarrass them? Oh, I'd do better than that. I'd show them what I was capable of. And it started tomorrow. The next morning, I sat at a corner table in Lakeview Cafe, the hum of Chicago's downtown buzzing outside. Lauren slid into the seat across from me, her eyes bright with anticipation. The smell of fresh coffee filled the air, but my stomach was too knotted to drink. Today was the day we'd set our plan in motion. Today, we'd meet Samantha Reed, the key to turning my family's dismissal into their regret. Samantha arrived right on time, looking every bit the polished event coordinator. Her sleek blazer and tablet screamed confidence, but her warm smile put me at ease. "Emily, Lauren, good to see you," she said, settling into her chair. "I hear you're stirring up some trouble." "Trouble?" I raised an eyebrow, leaning forward. "I'm just planning a little charity event. Nothing major." Lauren grinned, nudging me. "Don't let her fool you, Sam. She's about to outshine the wedding of the century." Samantha's eyes sparkled with curiosity. "Is that so? Well, I'm all ears." But first she hesitated, glancing around the quiet cafe. "I probably shouldn't show you this, but after what Lauren told me, you need to see it." She slid her tablet across the table, an email open on the screen. My heart thudded as I read the sender's name, Victoria Langston. The subject line was blunt: guest list concerns. I scanned the message, each word like a jab. "Samantha, I need to ensure certain individuals don't disrupt our special day. Michael's sister, Emily, has a history of inappropriate behavior. Please keep her out of all arrangements. The Harpers will handle any questions." "Inappropriate behavior?" Lauren scoffed, her voice sharp. "You volunteer at animal shelters, teach art to kids on weekends, and date women. That's the crime, isn't it? Doesn't fit their Lincoln Park Country Club vibe." I stared at the email, my hands trembling slightly. So, it was never lost in the mail. Victoria made sure I was cut out. "Exactly." Samantha's voice was low, sympathetic. "I've worked with Victoria for months. She's obsessed with perfection. Michael just nods along, and your mom, well, she didn't argue." The betrayal stung, but it also fueled me. I looked up, meeting Samantha's gaze. "How flexible are your vendors?" "The ones working Michael's wedding." Samantha raised an eyebrow, catching my drift. "What are you thinking?" "Those vendors are locked in for a big payday. The Regency's not cheap." "What if they got a better offer?" I pulled out my phone, opening my banking app. I turned the screen toward them, showing my savings, $150,000. Lauren's eyes widened. "Holy Emily, that's serious cash." "Impressive," Samantha said carefully, her fingers tapping the table. "But redirecting vendors could cost me my job. I'd need to be discreet." "What if it wasn't you?" I leaned in, my voice steady. "What if someone else contacted the vendors? Someone who knows exactly what services are booked, when and where." Samantha sat back, a slow smile spreading across her face. "You know, I've been thinking about starting my own event planning business. This industry's brutal. It'd be a shame if someone outbid my current company." "A real shame," Lauren added, her tone playful but pointed. "Like, say, a 20% premium over their contracts?" Samantha's smile grew. "Hypothetically, if someone wanted to reach out to those vendors, florists, caterers, musicians, shares their contact info." She swiped on her tablet, sending me a file. "And hypothetically, they'd jump at a better deal." My phone buzzed, interrupting the moment. A text from Mom. "Emily, Victoria's worried you're planning something. Please don't make this difficult." I showed the message to Lauren and Samantha, my jaw tightening. "Oh, it's on now," Lauren said, her eyes flashing. "Really on?" I nodded, turning to Samantha. "One more thing. Know any charities that could use a big donation and some publicity?" Her face lit up. "I'm on the board of Hope Haven Pediatric Center. They're fundraising for a new cancer wing. Perfect fit for a high-profile gala." "Perfect," I said, my heart racing with purpose. "Send me the details." "And Samantha, thank you." "Don't thank me yet," she said, packing up. "Victoria's not going down without a fight. But if anyone can pull this off, it's you." The air in Evelyn's bridal boutique felt thick with perfume and tension. I stood behind a rack of glittering veils, my heart pounding as Lauren whispered beside me. We'd come to Chicago's premier bridal shop to scope out vendors, not to run into the enemy. But there she was, Victoria Langston, gliding through the store in a cloud of white satin. My mom, Diane, fussing over her train. The sight twisted my stomach. This was the woman who'd made sure I was erased from her perfect day. "Keep it cool," Lauren murmured, adjusting a price tag on a nearby gown. "We're just browsing, right?" "Right." I forced a smile, but my eyes stayed on Victoria. She laughed with the shop owner, her voice bright, like she didn't have a care in the world. Meanwhile, I was plotting to upend her $250,000 wedding. Lauren nudged me. "There's Anna, the florist we talked to yesterday. She's dropping off samples." Through the shop window, I saw Anna unloading crates of roses. Perfect timing. If we could confirm her for our charity gala at Hope Haven Pediatric Center, we'd have one more piece of Victoria's puzzle. But then, disaster. Victoria's voice cut through the store, sharp and deliberate. "I do feel bad about Emily's invitation getting lost. But honestly, maybe it's for the best. You know, after what happened at the engagement party." My blood boiled. I gripped the veil rack, my knuckles white. "Engagement party?" I whispered to Lauren. "I wasn't even invited." Diane's voice followed, soft but clear. "You're right, honey. Emily can be unpredictable. Michael was smart to handle it this way." Lauren's eyes flashed. "Unpredictable? That's rich, coming from her." Before I could respond, a sales clerk approached us, her smile too bright. "Can I help you ladies find anything?" "No, I started, but a new voice interrupted. "Emily? Is that you?" Anna, the florist, stood there, clutching a folder, her eyes wide with recognition. My heart stopped. Of all the times for her to spot me, the clerk blinked, confused. "You know each other?" Anna glanced at Victoria, who was now staring our way, then back at me. She caught my panic and recovered fast. "Oh, from the charity event Emily's organizing. A big fundraiser for Hope Haven Pediatric Center." "That's wonderful," the clerk said. "When is it?" "The same day as my wedding," Victoria cut in, appearing beside us, her massive gown filling the space. Her smile was tight, predatory. "Right, Emily?" The store went silent. Every eye turned to me. I could feel the weight of Diane's anxious stare, the clerk's curiosity, Lauren's protective tension. I met Victoria's gaze, refusing to flinch. "Is that right? I wouldn't know your wedding date. My invitation got lost, remember?" Victoria's smile sharpened. "What a shame. But I'm sure you understand why we couldn't rearrange everything just for you." "Of course." I matched her tone, bright and biting. "I had other plans anyway." Diane stepped forward, her voice nervous. "Ladies, maybe we should hear about this charity event." Victoria ignored her, pressing closer. "Booking Anna must be special. She's one of the top florists in Chicago." "Very special," I said, holding my ground. "It's amazing how many people want to support a good cause." Anna clutched her folder tighter. "I should get back to the shop. Emily, I'll email you those design options we discussed." She hurried off, leaving a tense void. Victoria's eyes narrowed. "Funny coincidence, booking the same vendors as us." "Didn't notice," I lied, my pulse racing. Diane started, "Emily." "Everything's fine," Victoria interrupted, her voice smooth as ice. "I'm sure Emily wouldn't dream of upstaging our day. Right, dear?" The word dear dripped with venom. Lauren stepped closer, her presence a shield. "Wouldn't dream of it," I said, smiling back. "We've got a meeting with the hospital board now. Lots to plan, you know." As we turned to leave, Victoria called out, "Oh, Emily, do give Samantha my best. She's been such a help with our event." I froze, my breath catching. Lauren grabbed my arm, pulling me toward the door. "Don't," she whispered. "Not here." Outside, I leaned against the brick wall, gasping. She knows something. She suspects. She suspects, Lauren corrected, her voice firm. But she can't prove a thing. Not yet. My phone buzzed. A text from Samantha. Victoria just called. Wants vendor confirmations. What do? I typed back, tell her it's fine. Show her what she wants. I looked at Lauren, my resolve steeling. Game on. The Lakeview Cafe buzzed with midday chatter, but I barely noticed. I sat across from David Mitchell, our family's former photographer, stirring my latte absently. His camera rested on the table, a reminder of the moments he'd capture, moments I was rarely part of. My plan to upstage Michael's wedding was moving fast, but doubt gnawed at me. Was I going too far? David's presence, calm and steady, kept me grounded. You okay, Emily? David asked, his voice gentle. You seem distracted. I forced a smile, glancing out at Chicago's bustling streets. Just family stuff. You know how it goes? He nodded, but before he could reply, the cafe door swung open. My stomach dropped. Michael strode in, his suit crisp, his frown deeper than usual. Hide your phone, David whispered, sliding his camera under a napkin. Michael spotted us and made a beeline for our table. Emily, what are you doing here? His eyes flicked to David, narrowing. With him. Having coffee. I kept my tone light, but my pulse raced. It's a cafe, Michael. With David. He pulled up a chair, uninvited, his voice low but sharp. Our old family photographer? Really? Former photographer, David corrected, leaning back. I'm branching out. New projects? Michael ignored him, focusing on me. We need to talk about your charity event. Victoria's upset. She thinks you're trying to steal the spotlight from our wedding. I raised an eyebrow, my anger simmering. Imagine that. Feeling overshadowed because someone else is getting attention. Sounds familiar. This isn't a joke, Emily. His voice softened, but it felt rehearsed. Dad's stressed about the wedding costs. Mom's worried you'll embarrass us again. Just postpone your event. Next weekend, maybe? I stared into his eyes, searching for sincerity. All I saw was desperation. Why, Michael? Because it might stir up gossip? Because it could make the family look bad? Or because it's your big day and I'm not allowed to exist in it? He ran a hand through his hair, a gesture I knew too well. Frustration, not remorse. You don't understand the pressure I'm under. Victoria's family, their expectations, the whole damn Regency Hotel spectacle. No, you don't understand. I leaned forward, my voice steady. While you're obsessed with appearances, I'm living my life. With real people who accept me for who I am. My phone buzzed, breaking the tension. A text from Samantha, urgent. Victoria's asking about vendor contracts. Need to talk now. Michael noticed my expression. What's wrong? Nothing. I slipped the phone into my pocket too quickly. Work stuff. He stood, straightening his suit, his eyes cold. Whatever you're planning, Emily, think about what it means for the family. For Mom and Dad. As he left, David let out a low whistle. That was intense. He's rattled. Yeah. My eyes lingered on the door, Michael's silhouette fading into the Chicago crowd. He's hiding something. My phone buzzed again. This time, it was Thomas Grant, my dad's accountant, a family friend since I was a kid. One line, you should know. Michael's been skimming from your dad's company. My breath caught. I showed David the message, my hands shaking. Oh my God. This explains the wedding budget stress. David's eyes widened. Embezzlement? That's big. What are you going to do? I thought of Michael's pleas, his talk of family loyalty, keeping up appearances. Then I thought of the years I'd spent on the sidelines, invisible, while he played the golden child. I'm not stopping, I said, my voice firm. This charity gala at Hope Haven? It's happening. And if Michael's secrets come out, that's on him. David nodded, grabbing his camera. I'm in, whatever you need. Photos, intel, you name it. I texted Samantha back, Tell Victoria everything's fine. Keep her in the dark. Then I looked at David, a new resolve settling in. Let's make this gala unforgettable. For Hope Haven. For me. My phone buzzed once more, Mom. Emily, please don't cause trouble. Michael's under enough pressure. I didn't reply. Trouble? I wasn't causing it. I was exposing it. And with Thomas's bombshell, I had everything I needed to turn Michael's perfect day upside down. The knock on my Lincoln Park apartment door came sharp and sudden, pulling me from the stack of Hope Haven Pediatric Center donation papers on my kitchen counter. Lauren, sprawled on the couch, looked up from her phone, her eyes narrowing. Who's that? It's late. I peeked through the peephole, my stomach twisting. Diane Harper, Mom, stood there, her face tight, her purse clutched like a shield. It's Mom, I whispered, my voice low. Put everything away. Lauren scrambled, shoving the papers into a drawer as I opened the door. Mom, I said, forcing a neutral tone. Didn't expect you. Diane brushed past me, her heels clicking on the hardwood, her eyes scanning the room like she was searching for evidence. We need to talk, Emily. About this ridiculous charity event of yours. Nice to see you too. I crossed my arms, leaning against the counter. The Chicago skyline glittered outside, but the air inside felt heavy, charged. Don't be clever. Diane's voice was sharp, her perfectly pressed blouse a stark contrast to my faded jeans. Do you have any idea what you're doing to your brother? To this family. Lauren stood, her posture tense. I'll give you two some space. No, stay. Diane's tone snapped like a whip. Clearly, you're encouraging this rebellion. Rebellion? I stepped forward, my voice steady but edged. What's rebellious about raising money for sick kids? Or is the problem that it's me doing it? Diane sank into an armchair, her hands smoothing her skirt, a nervous tick. You're twisting everything. Why are you doing this? For attention? Money? If it's money, we can. Money? I cut her off, my laugh bitter. Thomas's text about Michael's embezzlement flashed in my mind. Money siphoned from Dad's company to fund his lavish life. That's an interesting topic, Mom. Her eyes flickered, a crack in her composure. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing. I smiled, thin and pointed, thinking of loyalty, secrets, and the lies holding this family together. Just funny you'd bring up money. Diane stood, her voice rising. Whatever you're planning, stop it. Before it spirals out of control. Like that mess at the country club last year when Michael had to borrow funds to cover his debts. I froze, my breath catching. Borrow funds? I kept my tone innocent, but my mind raced. Gambling debts. Thomas's message hadn't mentioned that, but it fit. You mean from Dad's company? Her face paled, her hand gripping the chair. How do you know about that? I have friends, Mom. I stepped closer, my voice low. Friends who notice where money goes. Or doesn't. You're blackmailing us? Her voice trembled, but there was fear in her eyes now, not just anger. No, I shook my head, my resolve like steel. I'm done playing your game. I'm doing something good, something that matters. If that overshadows Michael's perfect wedding, maybe ask yourself why that scares you so much. Your father will be devastated, she said, her voice softer, pleading. Devastated by my charity gala? I tilted my head, my tone sharp. Or by finding out what his perfect son's been up to? Diane headed for the door, her hand shaking on the knob. She paused, her back to me. I always thought your differences with Michael were the biggest threat to this family. I never thought you'd be this cruel. Cruel? Lauren spoke up, her voice fierce. Cruel is cutting your daughter out of every family event. Cruel is letting your son steal from his own father. Stay out of this, Diane snapped, but her voice wavered. No, I stepped between them, my heart pounding but sure. Lauren's family now. The kind that doesn't need lies or stolen money to stay together. Diane's eyes met mine, then dropped. She left without another word, the door clicking shut. Lauren hugged me tight. You okay? Yeah. I exhaled, Shaky but strong. My phone buzzed a text from David. Just got hired as Michael's wedding photographer. Victoria's friend bailed. Want me to keep watch? I showed Lauren the message, a grin spreading. Perfect. Another text came in, from Thomas. Your dad's asking about the accounts. What now? I looked at Lauren, my resolve unshaken. Not yet. Let them sweat. We've got a gala to finish. The morning of Michael's wedding dawned crisp and clear, Chicago's skyline gleaming under a rare June sun. I sat in my car across from St. Mary's Church, my hands gripping the steering wheel. Lauren squeezed my arm, her voice steady. Ready, Emily? Mostly. I checked my phone, my heart racing. A text from Dr. Lisa, Hope Haven Pediatric Center's director, confirmed everything was set at the Regency Hotel's ballroom, right where Michael and Victoria's reception was supposed to be. Flowers, catering, music hall redirected to our charity gala. Through the church windows, I saw guests filing in, oblivious to the storm brewing. David texted, his words popping up with a photo of Michael, pale and sweating. Your brother looks like he's gonna puke. I smirked, but my eyes stayed on the church steps. There was Dad, Richard, helping Mom up, her face tight with worry. She kept glancing around, probably praying I wouldn't show up and cause a scene. Lauren noticed too. Your dad has no clue, does he? None. I watched him adjust his tie, smiling at guests. He thinks everything's perfect. My phone rang, shattering the moment. Victoria's number flashed. I let it ring 4 times, then answered, keeping my voice calm. Hello. Where are they? Her tone was razor-sharp, panic seeping through. The vendors, Emily. No flowers, no catering, no music. The lobby's empty. Weird. I leaned back, glancing at Lauren, who stifled a grin. Have you called Samantha at Elite Events? She's not answering. Victoria's voice dropped, low and accusing. No one's answering. I know it's you. I know you did this. Me? I kept my tone light, almost playful. I'm just planning a charity event. You know, for the kids. Listen, you, she stopped, muffled voices in the background. Michael's voice came through, strained. Everything okay, honey? Fine. Victoria snapped. Everything's fine. I hung up, my pulse pounding. David texted again. Victoria's mom just arrived. She's grilling everyone. Showtime. Let's go check our event, I said, starting the car. Lauren nodded, her eyes gleaming. Let's do this. At the Regency Hotel, Hope Haven's gala was a vision. The ballroom glowed with roses and lilies, tables set with crystal, the string quartet warming up with a soft melody. Dr. Lisa rushed over, her face radiant. Emily, the media's here. They're buzzing about the donation. How much did you raise? With my contribution and matching funds, it's enough for the entire new wing, I said, my chest swelling. Lauren clapped my shoulder. That's $600,000, folks. My phone kept buzzing texts from Mom, Michael, Victoria. I ignored them all. David's next message came through. Ceremony's done. Guests are heading your way. You expecting them? Oh, they'll show up, I said, scanning the ballroom. Their whole guest list thinks the reception's here. Lauren laughed. Checkmate. My phone rang again. Dad this time. I answered, bracing myself. Emily, what's going on? The Regency staff said everything's been redirected to some charity event. That's right, I said, my voice firm. Hope Haven Pediatric Center. A pause, heavy and thick. Why would you do this? And what's this about Michael and the company accounts? Where's the money going? Check your email, Dad. My tone was calm, but my heart raced. Thomas sent you everything an hour ago. Bank statements, transfers, the works. Is this true? His voice cracked, the weight of betrayal sinking in. Yes. I let the word hang, sharp and final. And maybe next time you talk about family loyalty, remember who really betrayed it. Another silence. Where are you now? At the Regency, where Michael's reception was supposed to be. Come see what your money actually funded. I hung up as the first wedding guests trickled in, confused but drawn by the gala's elegance. Cameras flashed, capturing the charity banners, the donation ticker climbing past $600,000. Lauren squeezed my hand. It's happening, Emily. I nodded, my eyes on the entrance. Any moment now, Michael, Victoria, and my parents would walk through those doors. Their perfect day was unraveling, and mine was just beginning. For once, I wasn't invisible. I was unstoppable. The Regency Hotel's ballroom pulsed with life, the string quartet's melody blending with the murmur of guests. Hope Haven Pediatric Center's gala was a triumph, flowers cascading from every corner, the donation ticker flashing $600,000 and climbing. I stood near the entrance, Lauren by my side, watching wedding guests mingle with media and hospital staff, unaware they'd stumbled into my plan. Then, the doors swung open, and there they were. Victoria, still in her wedding gown, Michael, pale as a ghost, and my parents, Diane and Richard, trailing behind. The air shifted, heavy with tension. "Welcome to the Hope Haven fundraiser," I said, my voice loud, clear, carrying over the crowd. "Since you're all dressed up, why not support a good cause?" Victoria stormed forward, her eyes blazing. "You ruined everything, Emily." Her veil trembled, her voice a mix of fury and disbelief. "Our day, our moment gone." "No," Richard's voice boomed, stopping her cold. He held up his phone, Thomas's email glowing on the screen. "Michael did this." "Care to explain, son?" Michael's face drained of color, his tie askew. "Dad, I can." "Explain what?" Victoria spun toward him, her gown rustling. "What's he talking about?" Dr. Lisa, the hospital director, stepped forward, her presence commanding. "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our fundraiser. Your presence today will help save countless children's lives." Her words drew the crowd's attention, but the drama at the entrance held me fast. Lauren leaned close, whispering, "It's falling apart, Emily. Just like you planned." I nodded, my eyes on Michael. He opened his mouth, but no words came. Richard stepped closer, his voice shaking. "Thomas sent me the bank statements. Transfers, missing funds, all tied to you. You stole from my company to fund this wedding." The crowd murmured, heads turning. A news camera swiveled toward us. Victoria stepped back from Michael, her perfect day crumbling. "Is this true?" "I can explain," Michael stammered, but Dr. Lisa approached a reporter, her voice bright. "Emily, would you like to say a few words about your generous donation? The cameras are rolling." Victoria hissed, "Don't you dare." I smiled, stepping toward the reporter. "I'd love to." I took the mic, my voice steady, resonant. "This event is for my family. They taught me everything about appearances, about meeting expectations. So when I learned my brother was embezzling from our dad's company to fund his lavish lifestyle, I knew what to do with my savings." The reporter's eyes widened. Michael lunged forward, but Richard grabbed his arm. "Not here," he growled. "You've done enough." I kept speaking, the crowd hanging on every word. "Thanks to everyone here, we've raised $600,000 for Hope Haven's new cancer treatment wing. Sometimes the best celebrations aren't about fancy dresses or perfect parties. Sometimes it's about doing what's right." Applause erupted, echoing through the ballroom. David snapped photos of Michael's defeat, Victoria's fury, Diane's stunned silence. Victoria yanked off her veil, her voice venomous. "You destroyed us. Our friends, our family, everyone's watching." No, Richard stepped in, his voice heavy. "You and Michael did that." He turned to the crowd, raising his voice. "As the anonymous donor for today's wedding, I'm proud to redirect those funds to this cause. And to my daughter, Emily, I'm sorry. I've been blind too long." More applause. Lauren squeezed my hand, tears in her eyes. Diane met my gaze, and for the first time, I saw respect, not disappointment. Michael's face twisted. You're such a self-righteous brat. He moved toward me, but David stepped between us, camera flashing. Smile, Michael. The ballroom doors opened again. 2 police officers entered, followed by Thomas, clutching a file. Mr. Harper, one officer said to Richard, we need to speak with your son. As they led Michael away, Victoria turned to Diane, desperate. Do something. Diane looked at me, her voice soft. I think it's enough. For all of us. The quartet played on, the gala buzzing with hope. I stood amid the chaos I'd created, no longer the unseen sister. For the first time, I felt like family, not the one I was born into, but the one I'd built. A week after the gala, Hope Haven Pediatric Center's new wing gleamed with fresh paint and promise. I walked through its halls, Lauren by my side, the scent of antiseptic mingling with hope. Dr. Lisa met us in the lobby, her smile wide. Emily, the first patients arrive tomorrow. Want to see what your vision built? I nodded, my heart full. The Chicago sunlight streamed through the windows, illuminating a playroom I'd designed, stocked with art supplies for kids. Through a glass pane, I spotted David setting up his camera. What's he doing here? I asked Dr. Lisa. Shooting for our newsletter, she said. His photos from the gala impressed the board. They're calling it the fundraiser of the decade. My phone buzzed. A text from Diane. Coming for dinner tonight? Made your favorite lasagna. I showed Lauren, who chuckled. She's trying, huh? Baby steps, I said, typing a quick, yes. My eyes caught a small sign by a corner room, the Nicole Evans Memorial Room. I turned to Lauren, my breath catching. Nicole? My ex-girlfriend. Lauren nodded, her voice soft. Her sister was treated here before she passed. When you chose Hope Haven, I asked Dr. Lisa to name a room in her honor. I didn't tell you because this was your fight, Emily. Not mine. I stared at the sign, memories of Nicole flooding back, the woman my family rejected, the love they couldn't accept. Thank you, I whispered, my voice thick. Don't thank me. Lauren gestured around. Look at what you've built. A familiar voice came from behind. She's right, you know. I spun to see Richard, my dad, standing there, a kid's rainbow drawing in his hand. Dad, what are you doing here? Thomas and I just set up the hospital's new financial oversight committee, he said, adjusting the drawing on the wall. Fitting, isn't it? Using money to heal instead of hide. Dr. Lisa excused herself, leaving us alone. I hesitated, then asked, any word from Michael? His lawyer says he's taking a plea deal. Dad's voice was heavy. 3 years, plus restitution. Your mom's struggling. And you? I searched his face, bracing for the usual distance. He met my eyes, his voice soft. I'm proud of you, Emily. It took the seeing that wing, those kids to realize the daughter I've overlooked all these years. Lauren wiped her eyes, stepping away. I'll help David with his gear. Dad turned to me, his expression earnest. About that house you were saving for your mom, and I want you to have the lakeside place you loved as a kid. I blinked, stunned. But that was your retirement plan. Plans change. He smiled, warm and real. Sometimes, it takes a spectacular act of revenge to set things right. My phone buzzed again. A text from Samantha. Elite Events is mine now. Old companies toast after the scandal. Lunch with Victoria next week's actually decent when she's not chasing perfection. Karma's wild. I showed Dad, who chuckled. Speaking of karma, he said, pulling out his phone. A Chicago Tribune article loaded. Wedding scandal sparks record-breaking hospital fundraiser. They're still talking about you. People love a redemption story. Through the window, I saw Lauren directing David to photograph kids' artwork in the hall. Another text came, Victoria. I know you won't believe me, but thank you. Finding out who Michael was before the wedding, it saved me. I smiled, pocketing the phone. What's the greatest revenge, Emily? Dad asked, his eyes warm. Being seen, I said, my voice steady. Really seen. He hugged me, a rare gesture that felt like home. I see you. We all do. One last buzz DR. Lisa, to all donors. First patient arrives tomorrow. A 7-year-old girl, responding well. Your generosity made this possible. I looked at the Nicole room, thinking of the kids who'd heal here, of Lauren's sister, of family born and chosen. Ready for dinner? Dad asked. Your mom's probably set the table. I smiled, an idea sparking. Let's bring dinner here tomorrow. Celebrate the first patient together. He nodded, understanding. Perfect. And it was. Not Michael and Victoria's perfect, but my built on truth, justice, and love that finally broke through. The best revenge wasn't tearing down. It was building something better.